What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel in our winter car series. Today we're going to talk about Mustangs. How could we not, right? The Fox Body Phantom channel, we have the Fox Body Mustang. This is our chance to go through and talk about all the cool Mustangs we saw this year at the car show season. There were a lot. Here's what I would tell you. There are a couple of cars on here that are going to be kind of noticeably absent, and that's going to be the newer generation stuff after the SN95s. There are a couple in the video, but you will notice in here there is an emphasis on the first gen stuff, so 65 to 73. I'd love to put an emphasis on the second gen Mustang 2s. We only saw one this year. We shot it. It's in the video. We try to get as many great Fox bodies as we can, and there was some great SN95s. Now, there are a couple of the new generation stuff in there, right? The S197s. That stuff I shot a little bit of, especially if I saw something that was pretty unique and different, like the Shelbys, or something that was kind of cool and customized. I mean no disrespect, there's just so many out there, and I really do try to focus on the older cars in there. So I hope you see your car in there. I hope you enjoy the heck out of the video. Can't wait till we get back into better weather and I can see y'all in person. Please hit that like and subscribe if you haven't so far. All right, guys, we're gonna shoot this beautiful 1965 Mustang. Talk to the owner, awesome people, 289 Southern car, or actually a Western car, no rust. What I love about him though is as beautiful as the style is on this car, this is a rugged car, right? No power steering, no power brakes, so they're enjoying the heck out of it. I think the style is great. It takes on like that GT style, or the GT 500. It looks like a Shelby. Like I shared before, if you're trying to figure out hexagonal grille 65, rectangular grille 66, so the easiest way to tell on this, but this is a beautiful car. Looks awesome in this color combination, like the red on red, so super sharp car. All right, guys, our first short today is going to be this 1964 Mustang. This car is a Texas car, spent its whole life out in Texas until very recently, so completely dry and rust free. Love the car because it's a 64 260 3-speed manual, the original hubcap, so no rims. This was a hubcap car that was really common back then. 64.5 was obviously the first year of the Mustang. This was based on the Falcon platform, and the first year, especially 64.5, had a lot of commonality that carried over. That motor, the transmission, it was based on the same platform and frame. This one's beautiful in black with a black interior. Love the style on it. Got a chance to chat with the owner. The interior is super clean, but it said 28,000 original miles. Beautiful, clean car. And again, you love to see these Texas cars. We were just chatting because I have 29,000 on my Mustang, and it's so cool to see these, low mile, original style cars up here in the Northeast that have been now lovingly cared for, right? These aren't going to rust out. We've taken care of them. So beautiful 64.5 Mustang. So we're going to shoot this very cool short on a couple of 67 rare Mustangs. My favorite license plates, rare 1 and rare 2. So this is 1 of 1,000. So how do you get more rare than 1 of 1,000? You get 1 of 12. 1 of 12 with a 390 in it, right? So this is the 289, beautiful car, an amazing color. But this color, and there's a really cool story. So it's a 390 car. There was 12 of these made because this was the first female-owned Ford dealer in the country, and she convinced Ford that if you can get me into these colors, we can bring more women into the high-performance hobby. And this was one of the cars that they made in this color. So you see the rarity here, such a cool color, but this is 1 of 1,000, 1 of 12. I love sharing these two. They're so cool. They always win trophies at every show because they should, because they're absolutely amazing cars. But like I said, I love the license plates. Rare 1 and rare 2, super cool. All right, guys, so we're gonna shoot this very cool short on a couple of 67 rare Mustangs. My favorite license plates, rare 1 and rare 2. So this is 1 of 1,000. So how do you get more rare than 1 of 1,000? You get 1 of 12. 1 of 12 with a 390 in it, right? So this is the 289, beautiful car, an amazing color. But this color, and there's a really cool story. So it's a 390 car. There was 12 of these made because this was the first female-owned Ford dealer in the country, and she convinced Ford that if you can get me into these colors, we can bring more women into the high-performance hobby. And this was one of the cars that they made in this color. So you see the rarity here, such a cool color, but this is 1 of 1,000, 1 of 12. I love sharing these two. They're so cool. They always win trophies at every show because they should, because they're absolutely amazing cars. But like I said, I love the license plates, rare 1 and rare 2, super cool. All right, guys, I got to go a little deeper into this car right here. 70 Mach 1 Grabber Blue Nitrous. You can see in the trunk, really nice setup in here. This car also says it was owned by Barbara Eden, so this was actually owned by the star of I Dream of Jeannie. Probably one of my first crushes as a little kid watching reruns, right? This is a manual car. You see the nitrous setup, you see the white interior. This thing looks great, and one of my favorite colors. This thing is a beautiful car. Love the wheels on it. Again, factory correct wheels. The BF Goodrich is just like almost all of us have ran. Shaker hood scoop, awesome car. Love everything about it, right? The right color, the history, the patina, everything on this car is perfect for what we'd want to have. And again, you can see, like I said, the patina, you can see a little bit of, you know, a little bit of blemishes on the bumper and stuff, and that's okay. The paint is flawless on this car. Love the wheels, like I said, super sharp. And the fact that it's the I Dream of Jeannie car, or owned by Barbara Eden, is amazing. Very cool. All right, we're gonna do a quick short video on this car. Check this monster out. This has been around in the hobby for a long time, and it still looks as great as when I saw it probably 15 or 20 years ago, right? 1966 Mustang Coupe, full cage, 306 motor with a giant blower in that bright yellow, which looks absolutely awesome on the car. The side exhaust, the yellow steering wheel, the yellow dash. This thing is so cool. Giant white, wide wheels in the back, wheelie bars. This thing is badass, and this is one of the coolest 66 Mustangs around. And it looks awesome. When you hear this thing coming in, we were just joking because it's hard for him to back up. This thing's so much cam. This thing's just set up so aggressively that you can't even really drive it slow, and I love it for it. All right, guys, 1982 Ford Mustang GT. This was the first year the 5.0 had come back in. So in 81 and 80, they had done like the 4.2, the 255 cubic inch to deal with some of the gas stuff that they were dealing with. Ford kind of had this big advertising campaign for the 82. It said the boss is back. And it was the 5-liter with the bigger carburetor, you know, the TRX wheels. These are the aftermarket 16-inch. Factory would have been 14, but it was a metric measurement, and those tires are like $400 a piece, so they're super hard to come by. What I loved on this was the uniqueness of 82, right? You had the very unique fog lights that came on the GT, that hood scoop, the TRX wheels, the flow-through ventilation seats, which look great. I actually love these seats. I mean, this gives me that, again, a complete total 80s vibe. We talk about like that cockpit or jet fighter inspired gauge package they had in these 4-ride Foxes would start here. Again, Ford was going back to that line to try to give us more of that fastback line with these cars after the Mustang 2s, and this car would have been like super popular. The one difference I see on this, in 82 factory, this would have been a dual exhaust side by side, not separate on either side of the car. So that's the one thing I see on the car that looks a little outside of what it was. But this is an awesome 82, and again, this was this was a huge deal, guys. This is what started that whole 80s power muscle car revival, was this car, and you see all the Chevys and Pontiacs that would come afterwards that would follow in that, but this was the one that started the whole thing. Awesome 82 Fox body. All right, so for our next short video today, we're gonna hit this 69 Mustang. It's not a Mach 1, but it is a 428 car. This car has been all redone, and it is absolutely gorgeous. PPG paint in the red, gorgeous wheels, everything under the hood in this car is perfect. They have this beautiful fiberglass hood put on to fit on the air cleaner. Everything works on this car. Racing seats, the fastback style. I couldn't find a flaw in the car. I was just talking to the owner. It does have a 5-speed. So everything on this car looks amazing from front to back. They did an absolutely outstanding job. It was cool to find out the owner owned it for a long time. So this has been a car in the family. We did it 4 or 5 years ago, exactly how they wanted it. And I think it came out absolutely perfect. What a beautiful, beautiful. All right, guys, we got a little Capri / Mustang section right here. We've got the Turbo RS. We've got this gorgeous 84. And then I love this 70 Mach 1. I've shot this at so many videos, so I'm not going to do a whole bunch more with it. But, you know, I love the style on it. The Kragers, the staggered wheels, the green and the fastback. Gorgeous car. All right, we've got a 93 Fox body for sale with 83-ish thousand miles. This one's pretty clean, manual. Chrome 5-star ponies in that very desirable teal color from that era. Again, we showed this before. The differences on this versus mine. 140 mile an hour speedometer, airbag steering wheel, Mustang emblem on the dash, which would be a little different. This one also has the door pockets, which again, they're sagging, which was super common on these. If you're buying one of these, look for the sagging door pockets. If we had the top up, I would also tell you to make sure you look at the strut towers. But this one overall looks pretty clean. It is an LX. A little bit of, a little bit of road rash on the front, like you'd expect from a 93. Looks like somebody at some point in time had put something in the space where you can put the stripes in. That needs to be cleaned up a little bit, or it's just potentially wax buildup. But the wheels look good. I mean, again, for a car with, under 90,000 miles, that's 31 years old. I imagine it's probably in that $10,000 to $12,000 price range, which is a great, fun car for that, with a manual transmission, and the top goes down. The top looks pretty good on this one. Definitely something fun. And we talk about, like, what are you looking for a cool car value? This is it right here. This is what you want to go out and find. All right, guys, so we don't see a lot of these SN95s with the 5.0. We have two here. We have a convertible and a hardtop. We have a 95. This one's really sharp in the red with the black interior. This one's really nice. Looks like it's in great shape. These 3-spoke wheels back in 95 were it. Like, these came out on the new GT and everybody loved them. I loved them. I had an 88 when this came out, and I was looking at the 94s and 95s. I thought they were amazing. And these, I love the fact they kept it original, right? Like, there's been a lot of changes. This one looks great. It's got, the cloth interior. I think this one was a manual when I looked at it, so it is a manual. It's got the triple bubble setup. So we talked about the double bubble. My 02 and 04 had the double bubble. In 95, you had the triple bubble, which had the clock in the middle. They eliminated that clock and added it into the radio in later years. But this one looks great. Again, very similar gauges to what you'd have in my Fox body right behind you. But this one has the, the top, the cover for the top, the parade cover. Looks great in the red. And as we flip right around, we're going to run into this 95 right here, which is a 95 coupe. So same style car. This one's also a manual, triple bubble. This one's also a cloth interior. This is that 4.6. I love the hood on these. You have that little cool hood vent. When Ford made this was a real throwback to what they were trying to do with the 65. So you think about how retro the next generation cars we get in like 2005. But Ford's goal with this versus the Fox body was to go with the more, rounded front, kind of like the 64s, similar proportions. You had the door fin here, and the door fin was designed to, to match that fin you'd have on the 64, 65 Mustangs on the side, that door vent, excuse me. And then you had that rear window, which would kind of would mimic those 64 and 65s as well. So the whole goal of the lines on this when it came out was to harken back to what they had done after the Fox bodies, because the Fox body was such a departure and looked like everything what Ford was doing then. This was their goal to get back to that. So to see two really nice 95 SN95s with the 5 liters is rare. Both really sharp. Super happy to share both of them with the show with you. All right, guys, we have a gorgeous Bullet Tribute here in the green. I was talking to the owner. I actually didn't get a chance to talk to them, but I heard the owner talking to somebody else, and they were asking about the pony on the grill, and he said he's left it off as a tribute to the Bullet. I like the wheels. Obviously, I prefer the original factory wheels. I think these are always a little big, but these still look great. The color's awesome. One of the best looking cars of all time in this fastback body style. We've talked about it many times, but just that line right there is one of the best lines you're ever gonna see on any car. It's just so sharp, and this one's really nice. Chrome is really sharp. It's a GT. I didn't see if it was an automatic or a manual yet when I came in. So it is an automatic Shelby wheel. Looks like the gauges are pretty factories. This is a really clean, Bullet Tribute, and it looks great in the color. And I don't think these wheels detract from it, and that kind of that argent color. They kind of work, even though they're a little bit bigger. They look great. So I dig this car a lot. Again, a lot of love for the Mustangs. This one looks great. 1969 Boss 429, one of 860. All right, I'm gonna hit a quick video. 2000 Cobra R, one of 300. First video we're gonna shoot here is gonna be on this 67. Had a great chance to talk to the owner. Very cool story. The car's been in the family since 69. Very original. A little bit of modification, not modifications, but updates. They kind of put new chrome uppers on. Went to 15-inch wheels, but went back to the wheel covers. 289. Again, this car was like the first car for a bunch of the kids in the family that owned it, which is always cool to see it be a survivor like this. Great color. 67 was a cool car. We were looking at this one. It is the automatic. You can see the interior is really nice on the car. Everything looks very original. I love the interior trunk pad. Everything looks great on the car. So I wanted to share this because, again, you guys know I love a story, especially a family-owned car that the family's owned it for such a long time. Very cool. Okay, so we're going to shoot this 65 and 66 GTs. Very cool cars. Father-son owned. And what's cool in the 65 and 66, so you can see they're both 289s. The gold one has, we always saw in the 65, you can see you have the hexagonal grille. When you went to 66, you went to the rectangular grille. It's probably the easiest tell on the outside of the cars. You can also see the corral around the horse. This has a 4-way corral, so side and top and bottom. In 66, they just went with the sidebars. Otherwise, they actually look pretty identical on the outside and the front. So very cool cars, both 289s, great colors. Obviously the blue convertible, very sharp. The gold on this is a really nice color on this car. I do like it with these wheels. I just think it really makes the car shine. And the gold with the white is a very sharp color combination. Obviously on the 66, we have the more factory correct wheels with the red line tires, which looked amazing as well. So just really both two pretty cars, and to see the 65 and 66 together and get kind of a good indication of what the differences are. And again, those differences mainly show up in the front end of the car, which is really the most noticeable. So if you're trying to figure out between 65 and 66, just a cool, easy way to take a look and see what you have. So we've got a 70 Mach 1 here. Again, I always like to talk about the differences between 69 and 70. The biggest, easiest one I've always showed you, single headlight in the front. On the 69, I would have had the dual headlights. This one's really pretty with the Magnum 500 wheels. The black and white, great color combination. This is a 351. Which is probably the most common motor on these Mach 1s. I do like the style on this one. The stripe was a little different. You had it down towards the bottom on the body cladding. This one is a manual, which is really nice. And again, just a great looking body style. I showed you the last shows. I really like the lines. And if you look at the line on the fastback, it just flows so smoothly on this car. Really sharp car here. I want to shoot this coupe here. I'm going to guess an 85 or 86. We have the big column induction hood. I like the wheels. This one's set up with some street slicks. You get the hood tax. This looks like something that's going to be pretty quick. It is a manual, aftermarket gauges. Again, not really probably a show car, but more of a race car, or, a high performance, street machine, which is very cool. I do like the wheels on it. The column induction hood looks good. And there's a lot of coupes up here. You don't have a lot of Mustang coupes typically. And there are like 4 up here today, which is very cool to show you. I also have a 93 Cobra. I'm going to walk over and share that with you in just a second. All right, we got another 65 here. This one looks more of a driver, but a really nice driver. Again, nothing wrong with this. This is a perfect car to have with the 289. The Mustang hubcaps. This one's an automatic. Interior is pretty cool. Again, the original factory radio. It looks like potentially here, which is nice. 289 on the hood, just a really good, clean, original Survivor car that looks great. And this one looks great in the white. The white convertible's always been really common. White with a black top and black interior is pretty sharp. Again, my druthers, I'd rather black with a white interior so it doesn't get quite so hot in the sun. I've had a black interior in a convertible and it gets very hot, but this is a pretty car and it looks great in this color. So again, I'd love to share a nice original car that you can have a lot of fun with. This is one of those cars right here next to us. One looks like it's built up pretty good. This is cool. And again, the 4i Fox. The old GTS covers. I had GTS covers on my headlights way back in the day. It was such a common mod back then. You get that and the bra you'd put on the front, all the cool stuff. This looks very, very correct. Love the wheels, 5-lug conversion. You can see it looks like we probably have 4-wheel discs on the car. We do manual. So this is also interesting on this car, and I think I may have seen it before. This has the double bubble, so this actually has an SN95 interior. Which actually looks great in the car. It actually seems like it fits in pretty seamlessly. This would have been an earlier version too. This would have been like a 94 or 95 because you also have the clock in the middle. So in the later SN95s, you would not have had that triple bubble with the clock in the middle. This one has it. So very cool mods on the car. It looks great. Very cool and something different. Again, a T-top coupe, you don't see them all that often. Very desirable. All right, guys. So I'm going to shoot my neighbor in the show here today. It's 2006 Roush. Stage 1. It has been upgraded to a Stage 2. Love the color. This is, again, one of those things I come to the shows. I just love talking to people. And again, you can see how passionate he is. He loves the car. Really enjoys driving. He's pushing like 350 horse. The car's really nice. It's super clean. The wheels look great. It's really fun. It's a really nice car. So I wanted to give him some love here because it's just great to talk to. We have shot this Fox at another show before. I know we have. I think it was Attleboro last year because I remember the side exhaust. All right, guys. I'm going to shoot this 93 Cobra in the vibrant red, gray leather interior. So the red's the second most common color after black. They're really close, like 1,800 to 1,700 out of the 5,000 that were made. The gray leather was the most common interior. So I talked to the owner. He owns a bunch of cool stuff. He has some Celines. He's got some newer Celines. He's got a lot of cool, like, New Edge stuff, Viper, all kinds of cool stuff. We were talking about this car. It's always cool to see. So I love a 93 Cobra. I will take a look at it. And this one looks great with the chrome wheels. It's got the Recaro seats with the flow-through ventilation, which is kind of like a Saline option. Looks awesome. The car looks great. So I wanted to share this one. And I also got a chance to talk to the owner of this car. This is pretty cool. Supercharged Calypso Coral convertible. With the trick flow intake. This car looks great. Full lug car still, which is interesting. It is still also a front disc rear drum car. So we've got some modifications under the hood, but still pretty factory. Calypso Coral was such a highly desirable color, which is awesome. This one looks great. Under the hood looks great. The only thing I don't love, and this is me personally, is I never loved the one-piece headlights. There's not a knock against the car. There's been a lot of mods that people have done it. It does look very smooth. Just never my favorite, but Everything else in this car looks amazing to me. I think I love the setup. Under the hood's super clean. That trick flow intake was so popular back in the day. It looks awesome on the car. And then obviously the supercharger. So just a really nice, clean Calypso Coral. Really nice car. Very cool to see a lot of cool Foxes. A 64 and a half, 3-speed manual in black interior, factory, maybe AC car, maybe a dealer option installed car with the 260, no power brakes, no power steering. Very cool original car. Hexagonal hood like we talked about. We have another 64 and a half. This one has the 289. This one has the actual aluminum wheels, red, white top, red interior, excuse me. Another manual car, very cool. And then we have a 65 K code at the end. We shot this last year. This is a really nice original car as well. So K code, red line tires, looks great. I love this is the pony interior in like that gray, not gray, but like a tan color, which looks great in the car. Love the two-tone. We do have the factory console. This car is really pretty. We shot this last year, I think, at the show over in Rhode Island, but always a beautiful car. And like we talked about, that 65, the full-weight bar across the top and the hexagonal grille, that's going to be the biggest indicator between a 65 and a 66. Very nice car. I'll hit this one quickly, only because it was one of my top 10 cars at Endicott a couple of years ago, and I've gone a lot deeper. But I do love this car with the Krager SS's, the little bit of a raked stance in the back, and the green is an awesome car. So it's here. I'm going to hit it, but I've gone into this a lot more in depth at the Endicott video a couple of years ago. So I'm going to go over here. I talked to the owner of this Fox body over here. He has a couple things I really like. The GT500 wheels. He's got the Celine wing. It is kind of in that hot rod black. It's kind of a cool car. We were talking about it. It's a lot of fun. And again, this is a great driver. Him and I, as we were chatting, he's done a couple of mods. Same interior I have. This one's a manual, obviously. So kind of a cool car. Again, love the Celine wing. Very cool. We also have this beautiful 66 right here. This car, automatic. We do have the non-pony interior, no console. So you saw that 65 we talked about earlier, that was a little bit more of a luxury version. This is the non-console automatic, and this one is the straight 6. This is a really pretty car. I believe this car has won a bunch of awards with the Mustang Club. Yeah, I judged this car last year in Johnston, Rhode Island. This car is super clean, really, really nice. Now, this GT500, this car is actually one of the cars, again, with the Mustang Club that does very well as well. He wins typically, he's top 5, top 10 every year. Really nice. Another GT500 over here, very clean. Now we're going to get back into a couple of more Mustangs. This should be a 66, I believe it is. So 66, just like we talked about, the rectangular grille. Love the color. We're going to come up with 3 very cool colors on these next 3 cars. Absolutely stunning. So this blue is amazing. Same color interior. Automatic tilt-away steering wheel. This is a really pretty car. This one is a husband and wife. Both these cars are super rare. These cars have both done very well at the shows. We've had a chance to talk to these folks. I've gone a lot more in-depth on both of these cars in the past. So it's the rare 1, rare 2, crazy rare colors. I want to say this purple is like 1 out of 12, and this is 1 out of like, this was a super low color. I'm trying to see it on here if it says on the party. So 1,000 of these. This one was like 12. Very, very cool cars. So very cool Mustang section over here today. I am going to come over here as well. We've got a couple more Mustangs here. I do want to hit on this Mustang over here as well. Really good looking convertible. Obviously a little bit of a ding in the roof, but again, doesn't detract from the car in the green. The GT 289 American Racing wheels, automatic. Very clean. Looks like another 66 289 under the hood. So nice clean car. This one we did shoot at a show because this one was customized. He had the rear ducktail spoiler like the Shelby's had with the Shelby style tail lights, which was awesome. This one has a 392 modified. We did shoot this car at another show. We do have this other here, so we do have another beautiful looking car, 93. We got the Cobra wheels on it. We did shoot this show too. There was a cool story behind this one. We shot at a different show. So another very nice car. So a lot of really cool Mustangs up here today. And this is a great looking New Edge SN95. I like the carbon hood. It's got the FR 500 wheels. I had these on my 02, but I had the chrome version. This looks like the wider lip, like the 10.5 inch in the back too. Manual transmission, no spoiler. This is kind of a cool sleeper build. It looks great. Full exhaust. I mean, it looks really nice on this car. So I am a fan, like the color. I haven't shot a lot of the SN95 today, but this one's really good looking car. Really nice subtle customization. It looks great. And again, it looks very clean, kind of like that bullet rear deck without the spoiler. Very cool. All right, guys, something kind of cool here. 01 Cobra. So this will be the one that wasn't factory supercharged. Just put a Kenny Bell supercharger on it. We talked, this car's pushing 450 horse. It does have nitrous as well. But from the outside, it looks bone stock, which is very cool. I do like this red. It's a good shot, you know, good looking color on the car. The Cobra wheels, Cobra calipers, the two-tone tan interior, obviously a 6-speed manual, independent rear suspension, four-wheel, you know, disc brakes in this car. So kind of a cool Cobra. And again, to see the 01 versus, you know, I think of the Terminator Cobras. This is basically the same thing, just obviously they didn't have the supercharger this year. They ran into a little bit of an issue where horsepower ratings weren't quite accurate, so Ford pulled them back, made the Mach 1s, came back out with, you know, the 3 and 4s that had the 390 horsepower. They were a little underrated. So this one's very cool because, again, this one's been done over with the 3-valve motor. Kenny Bell supercharger, 450 horse, very cool Cobra here. It's this beautiful Mach 1 in this pewter color with a manual transmission, 70, so single headlight, absolutely gorgeous under the hood, very, very clean. Stunning 67 Shelby GT 500 in the Highland green with the white, awesome car. Again, so this is going to be the big motor with the GT 500, the manual, unbelievable, the white interior, the parchment interior, the Shelby wooden wheel, one of the greatest looking cars ever made. And then we have this Galaxy Skyliner right next to it. So talk about a cool collection of Fords, man. It is hard to beat these. These are all absolutely... All right, what the heck? We're going to do a Mustang section. We'll give our Mustang some love, which we never do at the shows. We always skip over it. So my 88 white, 29,000 original mile. Look at the wheels right now. They are glistening, those turbines in this weather. This white just pops. Car's looking good again this year, getting a lot of the love. Same thing, still super original under the hood. Interior still perfect, no rips and tears, super clean. Everything's just still really looking good on the car, especially when she gets out in the sunlight. Man, that white just pops. And so we're gonna give her a little love today. I don't give her enough love. I shoot everybody else's cars and not my own, so let's give this guy a little love to in the Mustang section today, because I think it's one of the best looking Foxes up here, and we're an area with a lot of really nice Foxes. All right, so the next car I'm going to shoot up here is this newer Mach 1. I love this color combination and that light like slate color with the orange and the black. I think it pops on the car. These cars, for whatever reason, they did okay. They didn't take off like I think Ford thought they would. You know, this is kind of that stopgap between the GT and the GT 500 to 350s. Now this one is supercharged, which is awesome. This car is making a ton of horsepower. That giant front splitter, the really nice looking wheels, obviously the Brembo brakes with the orange calipers, the black and orange inside. This is a manual car, which is great. This is a really good looking car right here. And one of the cars I'm happy to share with you. And again, I love the color on it. Look, the exhaust is just huge and ridiculous. We have another couple early first-gen Mustangs here in the blue and the copper color. Also very pretty. A lot of convertibles up here today. Again, this is like the one we just saw a second ago. This one is the automatic with the console. Very good-looking car. $289. This is a 66. Very good-looking car. Another 66 next to us over here. Another GT. Again, similar style right here. Same wheels, basically. We do have the interior. This is the pony interior on the other one as well. So this is a 66, again, automatic without the console. Both have pony interiors, very cool. This is a great color, and again, a color you don't see all that often, so very cool. All right, guys, 2003 Ford Mustang convertible, Centennial Edition. I shot some pictures of some of the stuff in here, very cool. FR 500 wheels, which are not factory, look great. I had FR 500s on my 02 hardtop. I love these wheels. I think they look amazing. These ones look great. Tan interior. This one is a 5-speed. So when you look on the outside, you can see we have some of the commemorative pieces calling out that it's the 100th anniversary, which is very cool. Again, something I haven't seen before. I go to a lot of Mustang shows and I'm used to seeing most of the stuff out here. This is unique for me. I had not seen this one, so I wanted to share it. I think it's very cool, and I dig it. Obviously, the SN95's not super crazy expensive. Hopefully, it doesn't have the issue I had on mine. What I used to run into on a lot of the SN95s is right here in this bend in the convertible, you would run into issues. You see a little bit right here where it would fold in. So the Cobra's got a cloth top. These were a vinyl top. These vinyl tops would bunch up when they were closing, and you get a little bit of an issue with a pinch. His Priz is pretty clean. Mine had a lot more issues than his did. This one's actually really nice, so I'm glad he doesn't have that issue. And these also tend to have issues with like paint chips. The paint was kind of soft on these cars, and you'll see as you look at them as you're driving on the road, you sometimes run into some paint chips. I see a couple little ones on here, super common, but I like this style in this car a lot. I think it looks great. I think especially with that 100th anniversary and all the cool stuff that it came with, is a very cool, unique car. All right, guys, we're gonna shoot this 93 Fox body. Love the color. I love this green, the teal, pure like late, early 90s color. Every car out in the 90s was like this color. You know, we had a friend that had a Geo Storm that was this color. We know guys that had these Mustangs. It's great. This one is a pretty original, 44,000 miles. Talking to the owner, Flowmaster exhaust. Like, other than that, in the radio, it's a pretty original car. And we were looking at, a couple things you'd look at in the 93 versus my 88. You would see, obviously, the Mustang emblem we've talked about, the 140 mile an hour speedometer. You have the airbag steering wheel. This one's pretty nice because you got the sunroof as well. I do love the pony wheels. Always a fan. This is always hit or miss with the Mustang, guys, with that two-tone. So the option you had with the gray body was a really common option from like 88 on. People just kind of had to decide which do they like that style or not. I prefer the body color, but I do understand this is kind of an iconic look too, and it does look cool. And you see this, it's a Fox body right away. So this one's really clean. I wanted to share it because it's a really cool, nice car. All right, so we got another car up here that's kind of interesting. You guys know I love talking to folks. Probably too much if you talk to my wife, but we have this 98 GT. The owner's owned it for a long time. It's his fun car he has on the weekend. What I love about it is the passion. We were talking about the car. He's done a ton of stuff to it. Put the chin spoiler on it. Did the strut tower bar. Loves driving the car. And what's cool with these don't get as much love. I think this car is just a cool car. The bullet wheels are great on it. Very cool with the tan interior. So really cool, fun car. And again, something that doesn't get as much love as some of the other cars do, but I think it's just a great looking car. And again, talking to the owners is always the cool part. Like, I love talking to people that drive the cars and enjoy it, and he does, and that's one of the coolest parts about this car. Again, the SN95, specifically 94 to 98, don't get as much love as the, obviously the New Edge stuff does, but these are awesome cars. And again, very underappreciated. Great value, tons of fun to drive. So if you're looking for something great to drive that's fun, that looks cool, this is a car to go with, and I think its style has aged really well. Now, because again, it's a little different than the more, the fake scoops you have on the SN95 New Edge from 99 to 2004, so it's pretty cool. All right, guys, so I've talked a lot about Mustang 2s. I don't see a lot at the shows. I just got a chance to talk to the owner of this Mustang 2, 78 T-top car, has an 83 5.0 drivetrain in it with the 5-speed, upgraded the wheels to a 14 and 15 inch, but it is that lattice style wheel. But here's what I love. He has a 78 King Cobra in yellow. It'll be on the road soon. I can't wait to see it. I've said I want to see a Cobra 2 King Cobra, a Mustang 2 King Cobra, and I have it. I should see one this year. I'm going to be able to knock it off my list. And this car is just cool, right? Again, these don't get as much love, but again, this was the continuation. This kept the hobby alive for our Mustang enthusiasts. I love the steering wheel. I love the just pure 70-ness of this car. It's just, this is what the 70s were, right? It was cool at the time. It got we needed to get to. Like, look, I'm not saying this is as cool as some other cars out here. Like, look, this Mach 1 is amazing, but this is so different. You come to this show and I'll see a ton of 69 and 70 Mustangs. I don't see a lot of the 2s. I just wish they got a little more love. And this one's kind of neat for a couple of reasons. One, the V8, the 5-speed, the T-tops, the old school steering wheel, which I absolutely love in this car. So just a neat car that you don't see a ton. All right, our next car we're going to shoot up here is this beautiful 67 GTA. Red, white racing stripes, beautiful car. Under the hood is stunning, nicknamed Lucy. You'll see the wheels are, I love it, they're kind of the knockoffs. Under the hood is gorgeous. Everything is stunning on the car. This is just a really pretty body style. 67's probably, I always vacillate between like 67 and 68 for the best looking body style in the Mustangs. But man, this one looks great. I mean, that fastback style is so iconic. Like we talked about that fender on that GTO, I'm sorry, the Chevelle. You look at the rear end of this car, and I love the way that folds into it. What's crazy to me is you have the Plymouth Barracuda and Dodge Charger that did a similar version of this that I don't think integrated as well. I never loved the style on that car, but when you look at the style on this car, you get the rear scoop up here, but then you get this beautiful flowing line that goes in. This car is absolutely beautiful. And again, a car you absolutely have to just want to take a look at. I mean, everything's really sharp, and this is a great example. And again, it's just such a good looking car from every angle. I saw these two Foxes coming in. This one with the supercharger sounded awesome. I wanted to get over and take a look at it. Let's see, he's got racing seats. Still using full lug wheels though. Most of the guys that do these setups, and this one's an older one, so I'm guessing an 89 because I see the older steering wheel with no airbag, but I do see the pony emblem on the side. Now that doesn't mean anything. He could have actually thrown that on, but this thing looks awesome. But I am surprised that he's running full lugs on this car versus versus a 5-lug setup with the setup he has on with the supercharger. Most folks, when they do that, switch that over. All right, guys, so I'm gonna hit this row of Fox bodies here. So I was looking at this one, very similar to mine. I would guess it's an 87 or an 88. I didn't even look at the speedometer. It is an 85 mile an hour speedometer. I don't see a Mustang emblem, so I don't think it's an 89. So I'm guessing an 87 or an 88, all white. Similar to mine, white seats with the red interior, so it's a little bit, it does have a little bit of splash of color versus the gray on mine. You know, the white leather's tough on these. This one is pretty nice. Automatic, so very similar to what we have at home. Good looking car. He still has, you know, the turbine wheels. It's got everything on it. It looks pretty cool. And then there's this other Fox body here. I've shot this one before. This one's done a 5.0 Coyote swap. It's really pretty. We've got another green right next to it. And then we've got a couple of Cobras down here and some, you know, newer generations. But this was kind of a cool section of Mustangs I wanted to share with you down here. So we got a cool selection of Shelbys up here from the Shelby Club, the local Shelby Club. I had a chance to meet a couple of the guys at the World on Wheels show. They had a great turnout today. They have some really pretty stuff up here. We saw this one. I love the color on this with the black and the red. We got some GT350Rs, the GT350, GT500s. Great turnout from the Shelby folks with some really pretty cars. And again, this is kind of cool because these guys are way back into the hobby and they've got some amazing stuff. And again, great performance on these cars, great colors. Again, I think this car, again, we see a lot of the Mopar stuff. To see the Shelby stuff in this much is great. And to see it, you know, these guys turn out with some beautiful, you know, colors, style, the carbon fiber wheels on here. You know, you look at the brakes on there, just stunning cars across the board. So happy to share these ones with you. And this is a great group of folks, some really cool stuff. All right, guys, this is a pretty cool 68 Mustang Coupe. It's got a 392 and I see the Cobra badges. I like the Magnum 500 wheels. So this is something, again, a little different. I haven't seen this car before. The hood scoop looks great on it. I love the color, this kind of that Wimbledon white color they have, which is a little bit of an off-white. Really pretty, like the chin spoiler. This is a neat looking car. So this is something a little different. I haven't seen this one up at the shows. So I'm kind of digging it. Looks like it's a 4-speed. I love like the Shelby tail on the back. So they put the Shelby tail lights. This is a really cool design with the Shelby tail lights and the Shelby, you know, the Shelby hoods, Shelby gas cap. Looks great with the the 4-tip exhaust. So it's a really cool custom. They look at a nice job with. So like you'd see this with the coupe in the 68, really nice looking style, really sharp car. All right, guys, I have a couple of cooler new Mustangs I got a chance to judge up here today that I wanted to share with you because they're both kind of slightly, well, one's more customized and one's slightly customized, but they're both very cool. This one has a beautiful red, white, and blue scheme on it, you know, paint scheme on it in the interior. Even the trunk pad is red, white, and blue. Custom cat skin, you know, red and blue seats. You know, the blue carbon fiber, the wheels that kind of match. This thing looks so cool. Under the hood, they did a great job with the customization, so it looks really nice. So this is a really neat customized red, white, and blue newer 5.0 Coyote. And we have another beautiful 5.0 Coyote over here. Put the grabber blue stripes in. This car was really sharp with the supercharger. Got a chance to take a look at this one too, and it's really pretty. I love the stripes on it. The stripes look absolutely great. And if you take a look, the color looks awesome. I love this color. They did these with the Shelbys, and the Shelbys had some cool color combinations with this same color stripe. This one looks awesome. The wheels are really nice. The interior's nice. The trunk's really sharp. Again, you can see the trunk here. So I just wanted to share these two. These are two really cool, customized, newer 5.0 Coyotes, and they both look really nice. All right, guys, I lost, and I'm sorry, Don McLean's blasting very, very loud behind me, but a really nice 2001 Mustang GT. This one has the P51 intake with the ProCharger supercharger, black wheels in gray with the black interior. I had the 02 and the 04 SN95s. This is an automatic. Interior looks pretty original. It's got the Cervini's hood. I really like the hood with the heat extractors and the real hood scoop, which looks great. The trunk is really nice, but this is a really nice SN95 in silver. So again, a car that we've owned a couple of times in the 02 and 04. Really undervalued, really nice drivers. And this one's pretty badass with that modification. Got a little screen inside, a little bit of chrome, but what a nice engine bay in this car. Super clean, looks great. And this is a really nice version. This is a car that honestly under the hood doesn't always look that great. So very nice. All right, guys, we're gonna shoot another car. Now this was one of the cars that got away from me in Framingham a couple of weeks ago at that assisted living facility. 99 35th anniversary, cool story, original owner, bought it at Muzzy Ford. 45,000 original miles, ProCharger charged, 360 horsepower, Stedia suspension. My favorite wheels for this generation, the FR 500s, which I think look great. I had them on my 2002. This one is a red with white stripes with a tan interior, 5-speed car, super clean. The SN95 to me is one of the most underrated Mustangs out there. They ride, look, I think they ride better than the Fox bodies. They actually are faster than the Fox bodies. And if you want to get one soon, because they are still a great value. You can pick up a fairly stock version for around $8,000. Now on this one, he's done a couple of modifications. The one I would tell you that I would do in a second is the strut tower brace. The strut tower brace goes right into the firewall, right onto your shock tower, your strut towers. This tightens the front up of this car up so much. The handling on this car is wildly different after you install that. It just makes this car ride so much tighter, and it makes it a much better handling type sports car. And especially with something like this where he has a supercharger, I think that probably pulls that whole thing together and makes it run super nice. So really nice 99 35th anniversary. All right, Fox Body fans, 1982 Mustang GT, 5.0. ARE wheels, my favorite wheels. These are the wheels I had on my 88 and I want them again. I actually would literally love to see if he would just sell me the wheels on this car because you cannot find them anymore. I love these wheels. They're the ones I had on my 88 Fox body. Back in the day, they had the Celine body kit on it in white. This looks great in the black. We've seen this one before. He did a really nice job with the back panel. He actually put like this GT panel back here, this Mustang panel. That looks great. This is a really cool early Mustang, again with the rear window wiper, which I don't see a ton of the Mustangs. This is just a really nice version of it, and I'm just drooling over these wheels. I really do like these. They're my favorite. I would love to get them again. Like I said, I had them on mine. I think they're awesome. All right, guys, let's shoot a video of this beautiful 64.5. Now, love these stories. Original owner family. The original owner was the uncle. He passed away, but this is a 289 car. This is a K code, 4-speed manual, 411 rear end. This car is gorgeous. To have one family own this car its whole time is amazing. I love the fact that we have the original fender markings on here. I was asking the current owner, he wasn't 100% sure if those were original, but we walked around and looked at the car, and this car is incredibly original. The wheels look great. Those red line tires, amazing black interior, 4-speed manual transmission. The trunk on this is ridiculously clean. Like, every part of this car is immaculate. It looks so good. This is such a nice car. So again, to have an original owner version of this car is absolutely incredible. All right, guys, we're gonna do a quick short here. If you don't know about this car, this is the 1992 Mustang LX50, but this is a special edition. So this is the summer edition. They only made this in 1992. Now in 93, they also had a summer edition, which was yellow with a white top. And that one could either have black interior or white interior, and then they would have chrome pony wheels. So the 92 was a similar regular LX, kind of like the 7-Up car, but it was only available in white. This was the only year with the white ponies, which I love on this car. I think they look great. It also had a white leather interior, which was the same as the 7-Up. The white leather interiors from Ford were notoriously tough to keep clean. They were super soft, so they would just kind of fall apart. This one's really nice. He added the roll bar in. We've actually known this car for a couple of years, but this is a really nice version. But if you're interested in seeing a really cool version of a summer special, this is the 1992 1 year only red on white with the white wheels. Very cool car. All right, everybody, we're gonna start up with this beautiful 1970 Mach 1 351. This car has a really cool fuel system, upgraded carburetor, 650, but it's set up a little bit differently, so it's a little more aggressive. Car is beautiful under the hood, 350 rear end. This also has a top loader 4-speed, beautiful color, taking a bunch of trophies. I love the, the kind of the originalness. What I like is it's a nice combination of both, right? Still super clean under the hood. Obviously the Mach 1 air cleaner is a little bit aftermarket, the different carburetor, but it still looks so period correct. And again, the color's great. Love the wheels, interior is super sharp. Love the louvers